It's quick and easy to add a new customer to Skimmer. So we're going to start by going into the app here, just like you see, and we're going to start on the Customers tab. Now, if you look in the top right corner, you'll see a plus sign. We're going to go ahead and tap that plus sign. And here we get an Add Customer brand new page that comes up. So let's start adding in our customer information. We're going to start with name. Our customer's name is Dan, and we're going to enter his last name. You can also put a company name here, let's say if it's a commercial property, and you can also choose to display it as that name on the customer list. But Dan's just a residential customer, so we're going to leave him as is. Also for a customer, you can choose to add a customer code. This can be anything you want, any kind of differentiator, something to classify them maybe, and that will also show up on the customer list next to their name. Next, we can add in the billing address. Now you'll see that the city, state, and zip are already populated. That's because in our customer list here, that's a very common location. So it pre-populates it here to help save you some time. But if that's not where the customer is located, you can feel free to delete that and add in their actual location. But that's right for Dan, so we're going to go ahead and just add in his street address. And then we're going to keep on scrolling down. Now you see here we can add several different phone numbers for Dan. Mobile 1, Mobile 2, and a home phone. And we can label them so that we know exactly who they belong to. Just for demonstration's sake though, we're just going to add 1, and we're going to label it as Dan's cell phone so that we know it belongs to him. Continuing to scroll down, you'll see that we can do some other things here. We can add a couple of different email addresses. We'll go ahead and add one just for example's sake. And since Dan is just an example customer, we're going to add in our own support@getskimmer.com email address. You can also add in customer and billing notes, and those are going to show up on the billing report. Now, the billing report we will specifically cover in another video, so stay tuned for that. Now we continue going down here, we have the location information that we can add. Now, we can do one of two things. If the location is different than the billing address, we can just plug it in like new here, address, city, state, and zip. Or, if you're a customer like Dan, you can tap this button that says Use Billing Address, and his address will copy right down here, easy as pie. And we continue going down, and you can enter in a gate code, you can enter in a dog's name, and here you can add in a rate for this customer. Now let's do a couple of things for example here. Let's put in a $25 per stop rate. Over here to the right of that, you can choose the rate type. And when we tap into that, we see we can choose from a few different options here. For Dan, I'm going to choose per stop plus chemicals. You can also add in a labor cost if you like. And under labor cost type, I'll tap that so you can see it. You can choose from a per stop or a per month labor cost type. You can also add in, if you note, the minutes at stop. Now this is if you typically spend a certain amount of time at a stop and you'd like to note it here, and that's used by the system to calculate some expected times for routing purposes. We'll cover that a little bit more in a follow-up video. You can also add in some specific location notes for this one customer. For instance, let's say that you want to know the key for the gate is under a rock. That way you can add it here and you don't have to remember it. Now continuing to scroll down, we're going to mark every body of water that we take readings for. So Dan has a pool, but he also has a water feature, and we want to be able to track that separately. So I went ahead and tagged that. Now you can also, down at the bottom, go ahead and add a route assignment to this customer if you would like. And we're going to add assigning a route to a customer in another video. But at this point, you can see we have actually the customer set up in the system. Now what you want to do is go to the top of the screen right next to Add Customer, and you'll see a Save button. Now tap Save. And then when we look in our customer list, there's Dan Dryberg right there. And I can tap into him, and I can see all the information that I just put down there. And I can go back in and add route assignments, and like I said, that'll be covered in another video. But for right now, you got a new customer. Congratulations.